All right, one more time for Cindy, everybody.
So, I'm 9 months pregnant, 7 centimeters dilated, and the baby's heart rate on the monitor is reading 90 beats a minute, when right before that it was reading a normal 140 beats a minute. So my nurse does the usual intervention. She turns me on my side, she speeds up the IV, she gives me some oxygen, the baby's heart rate slowly comes back up to normal, but my heart's beating really fast because I'm scared to death. Now, most women pregnant for the first time are scared, and I know this because I was a labor and delivery nurse and a childbirth educator for many years, talked to a lot of women, knew all their fears. They were afraid of the pain of labor, of course. They were afraid the baby was going to be born in the car, not likely, and they were afraid that maybe something would go wrong and, they'd have a problem with the baby. So when I got pregnant, I wasn't afraid of the pain of labor. I knew all the ways to relieve it. I wasn't afraid of the baby being born in the car. I only lived 10 minutes for the hospital. And I wasn't even worried that something might go wrong until something did go wrong a week before my due date. My husband and I go out on a Sunday afternoon for a drive. He's driving my car. We're out here on Route 30 near Paoli, and he starts fiddling with something on the dashboard and is looking away, so he doesn't see what I see, which is a car stopped not too far in front of us, waiting to make a left turn into a garden center. So I scream, put my right foot up on the dashboard as if I could put the brakes on, but my imaginary brake didn't work, and his brake worked a little late, and we slam into this car. So I immediately feel a pain go up my leg, and I grab my belly, and I start crying and saying, the baby, because as a nurse, I knew that the impact of a car accident could cause the placenta to separate from the wall of the uterus and cut off oxygen to the baby. So fortunately, no one else was hurt. The EMT guys get there and they want to take me to Paoli Hospital, but I say, no, they don't have an OB department. You have to take me to Lankenau. I'm worried about my baby. So they broke the rule of going to the nearest hospital, and the next thing you know, we're flying down Route 30 with the sirens going and the lights flashing, and we get to the emergency room, and they do an x-ray. Nothing's broken, but I have a really bad sprained ankle. I can't walk. They give me a set of crutches, put me in a wheelchair, take me up to labor and delivery. I hadn't felt the baby move, so I was very reassured when they put the baby on the monitor. I could hear the heartbeat, and I was really comforted when I saw my friends and coworkers because I knew they would take good care of me, so I started to relax, even kind of joked a little bit. I saw the crutches in the corner, and I said, well, it's a boy. We can always call him Tiny Tim, But the joking didn't last too long because my doctor came in. He was worried about how the baby looked on the monitor. The heart rate kept dropping. He said he had to induce my labor. So that was kind of the beginning of my fright night because I was now living the fear that something might go wrong with my baby. So throughout the course of the labor, there were times where the heart rate would drop and mine would speed up with fear for what's going to be, this kid going to be okay. So I finally make it to 10 centimeters and I'm ready to push. And because I helped all these women all these years push, I really knew how to push. So I pushed that baby out, and when they put my son up on my belly, I started crying when I saw him, and they were tears of relief as well as joy. But then I started laughing a little bit because he had this kind of elongated head and this wet hair slicked back on the head and these big dark eyes blinking up at me. And to me, he looked like a baby dinosaur. And at the time, there was this TV show, I don't know if you guys remember, it was called The Dinosaurs. It was like an animatronic dinosaur family. And on the show, the baby dinosaur used to hit the father over the head with a frying pan and say, not the mama, not the mama. So I'm laughing and crying and looking at my baby dinosaur and saying, I'm the mama, I'm the mama. And I was just so relieved that he was safe and he was in my arms, because that was the first time I was ever more afraid for somebody else's well-being than I was for myself. And years later, I read somewhere that having a child is like watching your heart walk around outside your body. And because I agree that is how it feels to be a parent, I think there's a part of me that's always going to stay a little bit scared. Thank you.
Cindy, everybody. Great job.